Pramo ato abusan fremo mu nyina aha UTV so ene omayimu ene amahudoso nsam ayensa kan yaboaboa no eno na edu so ayede ebramo efri Abeka Junction ewo enkrakopo mu na this way chocolate drink also do here ene enso share special ice eno so yesuo emu ode ene mu ayakrogen ena afa special drinks eno so mu gwahodo do pe bia no wo benya bi ede amount sa enwuma koi ene aboafo enkaye na akabom aso yasne ayede awie pram to rekasebo no ebramo Sanso and a DSTV channel 360 kasi bono ye try egusu na debedi emu akutini bi enie na san aswafo ministers no wo entire enkomra se bedafie ne no na edom kuma wo mra se bedafie de atodwa se wo ninye de ekoso no eho kane mampanyi anu asutu franka de ma ndi samanyoko no Ura John Dramani Mahama akonsrahwe ewola Baleshi Abattoir Impesuaso ewo Greater Accra Mantemo. Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa. Wanum ede sefufu bia ba wadano edi. Wombote nyina ne se enyuma kuma ne adantamo be se 1 million ewo ebibrem. Wonu omo ebeto abasa komu edi juma bebre se de be ya bibiman puntuo ebetumi akoso. Queen Mothers Foundation ekuo no emu panyimpa a ono anso eye oba hema ewo fenso kayera mami akasa de atodwa se enche ne beto afi abato no a wohwemu a ewo senka asumdwe ne adwobra nkwa na him ne franka wo memu ne so rehusem ne se wotan ensem hate speech ena afe eye ensem hunu nkwa ena ekoso social media wo de atodwa se eha adwinye I was on for way any ensembia ebi account na editie na edihwe ene aso no sokroji a ye de ebramo ewo UTV so ewo enkran Abeka Junction Midday ede afia educhuwa mrosa me ena awie from to rekasebo no Midday ebramo afi emu ensam enie sese wo share asetena ase wo mrahye bedwafia ya na aswafo meche ministers no dodo no a ena wo mo entanko empo ya isada yi binum se wo mbebusebisa o meyi nsemisa hodoa no e wo mrahye bedwafie nanso yetu ensa from a ya wo mo enko na no ena edom kuma e wo mrahye bedwafie akasa ho de atodwa se de ekoso no de sabi wani je ho.
This is our opportunity to hold ministers accountable to the people of Ghana and to hold them accountable to budget that we approve for them to spend. Therefore, ordinarily, Mr. Speaker, he should offer an explanation in respect of each minister. Lands and forestry, where is his whereabouts? Local government, where is his whereabouts? And then energy, where is his whereabouts? You can't give a wholesale explanation to all. What was the explanation? There are 3 different ministers who are supposed to appear before the House. All of them cabinet, and all of them do have supporting ministers of state and deputy ministers. We don't find your explanation satisfactory. In any case, cabinet has not started yet. We monitor you and we follow you. So why are you using that as a excuse? The Honorable Minister for Employment is supposed to be in cabinet. He has crisis he's managing over labor strikes and disputes, which must be of interest to cabinet. What you are doing to resolve all the industrial strikes which is affecting productivity. So offer a better explanation, Mr. Speaker.
Justifying the disrespect the executive arm has for the legislative arm. Mr. Speaker, I filed an urgent question. An urgent question, it ceases to be urgent any longer. This is the second week. And I've seen that many colleagues of mine also filed urgent questions. And these are the excuses they are given to us. For me, it makes the argument stronger that we need to be working towards insulating the legislative arm from the grip of the executive arm. Because some of the ministers are also members of parliament. So in performing this duality of responsibility, which one do they take important? So, leader, that reason is untenable, and I think that this should be the last time we should experience that, at least in this parliament.
Please, let's do well to let the ministers respond to parliament. It's very, very important. And I'm making this appeal to the whips, especially the government whips. It is your duty to make sure any minister who is destined to come and respond to any question come. So before a minister is programmed to come and answer or respond to any member, at least it's incumbent on the whips to make sure the ministers are well informed before we even program them. Because it's not nice that we program a minister to come and answer questions. Meanwhile, the minister may be having something else doing. So it doesn't make sense. We program him, the minister is somewhere doing something else. I'm not saying what he's doing is not important. But once we program the minister, there should be that correlation, that the minister will surely make time to come and respond to members. Other than that, it's a bit problematic. So please, I'm urging the whips, especially the government's whips, to take this seriously.
Fotuo ayedi akwan hodo ewo omaimu no eye bedwa wo mo hwe sa fotuo no so meche road fund board no yenya ntie se wayi ensewom ado agiri mrase bedwani onunyafo Frank anodo press wo no na enye dwamtreni.
Do solemnly affirm that I will at all times truly serve the Republic of Ghana as a member chairman of the Ghana Road Fund Management Board. So help me God. The Road Fund Management Board is a 30-member board of which many are institutionally represented. I'm charging the members of the board that there is a new policy shift to focus equally on maintenance, and therefore about 60% of the proceeds from the road fund should go into maintenance, so that we can protect what we have already done, whilst we look at other innovative alternative financing for more road development. We are also aware of public concerns regarding potholes and related issues, road effects. So in the next coming days or weeks, the ministry intends to roll out a program where the public can report road defects through a call center and a maintenance app, with a view to letting the public participate in it, so that we have a system here that can also address these road defects. And that is one of the reasons why we are having this policy shift, so that we can have up to 60% of the road funds towards maintenance.
So I gladly accept this elevation, and I am humbled by the appointment. And to paraphrase what the minister said, I've also known him for a very long time. You cannot underestimate his sense of patriotism. We are not going to take our work lightly, and it's not going to be business as usual. Again, we have a Minister of Finance who is one of our own. The work begins. We relate to him as we should, and we must get the oxygen to prosecute the work. That I want to assure the Honorable Minister that we will do that. And together with my board members, we'll give you all the needed cooperation. Penny said, "Your food, your piano. You have started a good job, and the least we can do as your board is to support you succeed."
Kanema mpanyo ura John Dramani Mahama Konsa share ewo lagbalishi abato mpesua so Greater Accra Mantem ene mpesua no so adehia twetwe nkomo no kira ene maboni bebre ene sisi mpesua no so pan no so be ma mpanyi biemu a ebi nsi biem.
5.5 years ago a very terrible incident happened. At this time, this constituency was on fire. And we all remember exactly what it was. The MPP unleashed violence that has never been seen before in this country. People in Azugu masks descended on this constituency and opened fire and injured several of our activists. Up till today, some of them are disabled and unable to go to work. Just 2 weeks ago, we visited one of them at home. He was a footballer. Today, he can hardly play football. He cannot even walk properly to talk about playing football. And so anytime we come to this particular constituency, it evokes memory of what happened 5.5 years ago. And it is my prayer and hope that this will never happen again in our country. In 2020, when we held the elections, 8 of our compatriots died. Not a word of sympathy, not an investigation to bring to justice the people who killed them, and not even one peso compensation for those people whose dear ones were killed. I want to assure the people of Ayawaso West Wuogon and our colleagues who died, the 8 innocent Ghanaians in the 2020 elections, that when NDC comes, we'll pursue justice for them, and then we'll also compensate them. We'll also give them the appropriate compensation in order that they can put their lives back. Ghanaians are widely awake. We are wide awake, and this time they cannot take Ghanaians for a ride. Those false promises are not going to work. If you have anything to do for Ghanaians, you have enough time to do it now. You have 5 months. If you can't do it in 5 months, there's no guarantee that you can do it, even if we give you 4 years or 8 years. And the other time, I took time off to debunk that useless thing about 4 years and 8 years. If you follow the logic of what he says, oh, he has only 4 years, I have 8 years, then it means no president should get a second term. Because it says, if you get a second term and you have only 4 years, you won't be accountable to the people. So then we should change the constitution and say every president should do 1 term and go away. Because in your second term, we won't be accountable. You see, there's no logic in what the person is saying. It means when you were saying 4 more for Nana, you knew that Nana was going to be unaccountable. And so just dismiss that and let's look forward. We have solutions for the problem, and we have the experience to implement those solutions to rescue this country from the crisis in which it is. This government has given up. They have no solutions to the issue of flooding in Accra. As for now, the least rainfall leads to flooding, even in areas that didn't used to flood before. There are many places where we never experienced floods. Today, when it rains, those areas get flooded. And so I've said that we need an engineering solution to this problem, apart from a human solution, which is to avoid littering and throwing things into the drains and so forth. We also need an engineering solution. And so NDC is going to commission the best hydro engineers to find out how we can alleviate the flooding problem in Accra.
I was on for young call Ahmano so na yeni ensem Tony Jacob Kubi and Swakase bonus no bekasa ede a free cars wana amane bo a free ho eba HSA. Enipa miensa akambum akowia obi ba. Ai, omakowia koda. Ama se de emra asomo pechi ya chi womo. Asem no say ene city airport ye kwa Ahmano so na Jacob enchreche mu ye enche. Jacob so atime ka ma he.
Me never me do so.
Boko de.
Nyame adom boko.
Yo. Asem abeto ya prun so ameti hu kakrai. Domu su koma ye say ne city airport ye ba ne say.
Yo, me never say na odi kaka sabe pe na asem na etie. Na eye enura enyumre na enya ne ntie say eye kaswa eye dopsu police for abo modern ati nkofo miensa a yesusu say omo kowia akola. Na wona nkwala omo na omo kowia akola no de na obi beka say nam so ama eye akola ayelai Madalin na najua Madeline Nana Boafo or no and enam so Emma Minu Kasi yesu say akwala naila na ya abayiwe bi a ya friend Abigail Addison we did 22 years now oyo bi a oton pure water ewo kaswa new market na market no edu Friday and Tuesday na igano ewo new market ho na after Friday and Tuesday no na igano wo old market and some market no na odi ne djuma wo ebi wo ho nso a oton ade no wo kaso ofanko omoloi park omo na oton nsuo no na abaiwa menu ka say Madeline Nana Joy ono na owo baby a omusi enyama wo wona omusi enyama ema nkofo yi home no oye djuma enti abaiwa na ton nsuo no okoba no na abaiwa na onyem akabe yese na wotu mienu na obewo enti no Madeline ko hu Abigail no ka say Abigail medimeni di weti sa mehu se uni baby papa biate na wasetem so yeden enti me pese me boawo na Abigail ti asese oh ampa me bre enti so betimi aboa me dia boa me enti Madeline de Abigail kota hotel bibi nti yentimi bo hotel ni for 2 days na 2 days echi no na obe introduce na danfo bi so ye friend Eunice ka ho na oni Eunice ekope edan ewo Lamte Mills edema abaiwa ne se ontrim nti abaiwa no kwotrim Abigail no kwotrim no na woti pepe na awo eka no na abra awo ka no na Abigail ne nkwa na owo de mu nti mi fiewura ono ye taxi driver no su bi ni dima fi ofanko kasoa ono na de Abigail kopie mu wo kasoa aba ayaresabia na abra Abigail ewu wie no na oton sa efre Madeline se o Madeline nyame adom mawo na Madeline na danfo ayefe ni Unity amukopie mu wo hospital ho na mukotia abaiwa no ni hospital bills bibia na mode abaiwa no ebefie na abra aka mo edufie no na Madeline Unity kire abaiwa ne se wakwo yetumi se ekomede pa yi nti yenko ne nko peduani bi ma na di nti omukora choba bi omudidi prekope na Madeline opi abontin no oba no na enipa foforo yefen Faustina ono ti abekuma ono so aka ho wabeka omo ho na Faustina yi ba no chemu se omohwe Abigail ne ba na ni ayese emwa ewo ni so yare ewo ni so akwala no onti afo na abra Unity ene Nanajwa Madeline Nanajwa edi Faustina baye no mo kire mu se Faustina no oyo obi a oye ejuma ewo kolebu abaya resabia ho nti omo hwe dewe a Abigail ne ba no na pomudi hu che na behu ehu behia se omo de ne bekwa kopie mu ewo kolebu abaya resabia na omo ahwe akwala no na ono Abigail no oye maame no ono onkofie na omo de akwala na ko ayaresabia e de aba na o se o debi mi mu ma wo me ba a doctor for work aso akire mu se o me ba ne ho ye nti no motumi eyiye no nti se me di akire o ma mpene so ono so o kire mu ese se o ni sika ene bebi o te no so no nkrofo ne be rent ma no nti no o de pene ene okofie okofie ade tin ya akwala namba the next day akwala namba edu 2 days na Madeline Nana Joy ba ya no be hu efiewura na omukọ rent edan no ewo ne nchen de ma Abigail ni omukọ ka che ne se fofo ento ata omode akwala no kọ kolebu no akwala no efrim no anya efiewura ne de nche ma ne bufu yie pa na obi so mo se na adanti no obi awo ne ba na se mo de ne efi ayaresa dia efi ka so ha se de kọ kolebu a mofa awo de wawo no anka ho anko na nkrofo mienu kire mu se omo hwe abaiwa no na wa bre pa yi je so obi kofie no kwaji na home no so na anya efiewura yi de na efiewura no ofre Abigail no ka chense Abigail bo wadanfo Eunice ene Madeline se oba no omode ne ko aya sabia no we frim na me efiewura ne de sa temu we de mi njintu and Abigail so soon and nkrofo bebre ebe pie mu ewo homo ekoba ne sa no wona mbe pie mu wo ho ni bi preference nkrofo bi omu ni mo ye ka ho and ekopie mu kaso adoption ye kopie mu wo ho no apolisi fo kwa wo no so omu so anti ase prekope no mutuka to Madeline if you Omukochi Madeline to you, Bumabe Media, and a mechanic, Aqualano, a woman for a unit to home. And Omuko unit, so really say Aqualani in the home, now Aqualano for Sina, and Omuko for Sina, Omukoya. Akwalai in Ekromu. It's a minute can say here. On much in Crawford, me and son, I almost to say, Omoria Akwala, wedi a year 3 days. Akwala wedi 3 days. Omoriano. Now, so I have police for more cars, so I had Dobsuno, almost me, actually, a young for me saying. Now, Nipa Bakwa, Omoboni, this a friend for Sinano, or no, a year, Kolibu Abaya Resabia, or no, I mean, can say here, almost to say, or then the Waka. A police for Egumo, Eguso Exceptional. Now, so Akalana, where we almost in India, a police for Ajakalano at the money.
Oh, and one money boy, I was for you, same 20 Jacob could be a money boy, and or de Akugoni, to Acasabon, so Aqua and some for emu. Yan, yes, and you say a fee and call a reyano. Na enuane ebunkam afaso ewo memu na saa ensem osofo be de kire wo hwe enuane ene kwaye ensem so no nyafo ya ofrempom ado na ede atodwa
ye encourage processes we must set up small industry so baby you produce say enuane no na o matimi e a processing and the value kakra can say the be enuane no be che shelf life no e be che kakra it be a tomato say afi na ba be 6 months time no so la obetumi akonya tomato e good obetumi dey bibia no e ba de say kwafo no nya ho faso e na ye ne ye timami fo so e bo na ya na epaja ne mu by heart no eno so bejai it is how share Ghana Nebraska sa chembe ya e na ye pa ho ntumi ya omu Nebraska omu ye kwadwuma pa na omu advance omu tuanamo akwanim pa wo kwadwuma mu and especially value addition that you processing no it is hard to be a Ghana companies P and there's almost say over 100 companies now registered with the chamber. I want to say Nebraska State ebedi is also Ghana Nebraska Chamber of Agribusiness no ebedi is also it talk ye the animal pepe so programming since 2020 21 22 I've been part of it because ministry no etachi kase because adwuma dia ye die ni nyina se ye nya omo ebe process ye nuane na ye be bregu eti we major milestone ewo agriculture adwuma ye wo Ghana ha no.
Basically the chamber came about organically because of some of the events that we had planned just to facilitate relationship building between Nebraska and Ghana. Back in 2012, when I was in the Nebraska legislature and serving as the chair of the Agriculture Committee, that was when I first met Mr. Kofi Amwabin, who brought the delegation over there and piqued my interest in Ghana and what Ghana has going for it. Because of my passion in agriculture, it just kind of took off, and of course with somebody like Ms. Akosa with AgriHouse Foundation, it's pretty hard to say no, and it's hard to not to be excited and stay excited about things that are happening. So that's kind of basically how it started. The real exciting part is how the future will be and how that will unfold. So we look forward to seeing that.
Nebraska state bia one more year agric ye ka crops, ye ka livestock, ye ka education crampa very strong. For what we are doing, you're looking at the whole value chain sector. How are you able to building facilitating opportunities for our agro processors? No more do amanyamako ne bisi abefebi wa hase. How are you able to tap into with Nebraskan machinery and equipment? Over the years, and we can only strengthen it if we are able to establish such a chamber, advancing your programs, any your course, any your passion.
Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, one abba jumade bi ho toma. I will tell that kuma so nyina say nyuma kuma ne adantamo bayese 1 million ewo ebibrim obeso masne aboa.
Not because we are celebrating the 50 years that passed in a very successful development journey, but we are also equally excited because we are looking at the future of another 50 years to come with the continent, where we are able to bring our sister institution, but also to collaborate and coordinate. We're very grateful to Ghana and to His Excellency, the President of the Republic, President Nana, for all his efforts in patronaging this effort, but also in bringing the Arab economic cluster towards the African cluster more close and helping us to realize the actual mandate of Badia, acting as a bridge of development between the Arab countries and the African continent.
I think Sunday is not just about celebrating 50 years of Arab-Africa cooperation, but I think more importantly is opening a new, stronger chapter of cooperation between the Arab world and Africa. And I hope that that message goes down well, because it's important for us to realize the last 3 years or so, there's a big challenge in Africa in terms of our capacity to fund our development, and on terms that are favorable for Africa. Maybe over the last 10, 15, 20 years, we've seen a shift to China for funding to support Africa's development. But that shift also has its own challenges and limitations. What we're seeing now, it's the creation of another significant alternative. The Arab-Africa cooperation is already there. But what we are seeing, and hopefully we'll see from Sunday onwards, is a strengthening of this relationship, because there's a recognition that together the Arab world and Africa can do more for each other.
Queen Mother's Foundation ekuo no mo panyipa a ono anso ene offenso kayira hima wakasa ede atudwa se wotan ensam ene sabi ensam huna ekoso social media so no aban enhwe no nka ho asem sabre ya ye wo apato afe no.
Dealing with hate speech, false information and propaganda as we approach Ghana's 2024 elections, we need to protect the fairness of our elections from these threats. Hate speech and false information have harmed democratic values in many West African countries, including Ghana. These harmful messages spread through social media, traditional media, and word of mouth, aim to destroy voter trust and create conflict among our citizens. As citizens and protectors of democracy, we must face this challenge directly. Fair elections are essential for our democratic system, ensuring that people's voices are heard and respected. Today, we gather to recognize the dangers of false information and propaganda and to show our commitment to protecting our elections. We must fight these threats together. My problem is the propaganda. That's my problem. Hey, ni pass message says what boy will tell them. Eti, ya why ya said here, say betimi abua. Amasa hate speech in Kwalano. At the end of the day, na Kwalano, you begin. Eti ya said yes, I was said, Sadiano, ye jai. The end of media may appeal to government. Says Sadian, so when you wait my parcel. Amasa yebe elections says Sadiano, media TikTok no, so bet my young bibia, one camp on young bibi. Any media for me at Tiwa, the deep and flatten, the Sabai, so also on farm one agony, more on stop us at the national Viera. A buy young my intimate Julika. Please see your toilet drawer, pharmacy shop. The toilet drawer, pharmacy shops in the Copepi said, Room Yep, Diana, I care who now pay no, your master Viera, elections paper, and not talk. Who now and I just said, what you want some. Mummy and I come. We are the Hodi Akotopa say, MPP and this one, what will you shall hear?
Opanyo sharp modin so e was a shidwabo so mensini mu e Dr. Deborah Mensa wakasa dia to dwa say ade ba ko a ekum adehye e wo mensini mu na etete grofo pa e malaria de ne nti wo so mo de hye piegu akwan so wo begina so e de abre malaria ano ase.
Share your data now. Ubehu say number 1 on the list has always been malaria. Self-medication doesn't help. Malaria is a preventable illness. Abrenia bribia no yeche bed nets mesre mindful nyina ekuafo nyina yem bed nets no ye say ye de maya yembo modern say ye de besan yendem na ya dem amanabo yen ho ban efri ntontom empo se unho dodo na se odwen say eye malaria Ministerial but modern na ben facility bia e ben ho yenye malaria test no answer ya ma malaria true because ebia na drugstore bi ben ubeko yenye test na ya ma malaria true the more na ye yesa no na ye introduce bibia ye friend resistance eba ye environment ni until next time na ube you see a drone biom no ebia na amwa until mestre say self medication dear let's try our best to avoid it.
And Ghana main to say a camp on the somewhere. If I'm not be happening, if he's a member of parliament, in fact, there also consistency upon the being some and programs send a better from the
Omaya Kuntabuo Ejumeko ade reports aba na reports mu no wo mu chese Ghana for ma 1.2 million ena say wo mu ni adwumaye enam so ama Ghana for titire madodo no a ache mo adwen ho
Ghana Statistical Service aban Kuntabuo wono ma ye hwehwemu ede apapetu edwa se eni emebunu be se wo pepepe ba ko achiripo enkron 1.9 million wonum enhyeda enkomu afi ye ka wonum a womo enhyeda enye adwuma na afi womo nje ntitiye bia ewo se bia nsa no dwuma na bibia etetete sa no o chese third quarter ewo afi twemu afi mpinu ne aduonu miensa no oye mu hwehwemu no sa na etie sa opepepe ba ko achiripo nkron no oye opepepe ba ko achiripo mienu 1.2 million eno eye emma ena afi emu eye emmema no wonom eye empem hanson ni edunum ahensia ne aduokron baako 715,691 wonom eye mmema no wonom ho na kyese emma no wo pepepe baako achiripo mienu ena wonom enye adwuma eno nam so ma UTV ye ne omanfo kodi nkomo ebisa wonom titru ne emma se sa enkuntabuo yi ababeto dwa no wo mu hu ni sei ampa se emma no wo mu nya adwuma nye
bebre na ya kwadworo enye se adwuma na bi ne ho sebe yan ye traders mi se Jesus na mi wie yomentumi anko SS ti mi hwe se me education wo form no mi shoro hamati bayi force nim da begina ha se me ton mi ntwe na ba me bi me yi ska ma me a even odema me a maji baton fa ma me mi ntumi nko force se force wa ba ma no ma mi ska nti bebre na ye akwadworo
we you yama oni ni adwuma no no so wia ono a oni akoma pa ono so onim kasa madam ne kra ne kasa ne kra na otrontrom no nti ama stores fo wo bebre ni bebre penipa eni o ma ya adwuma enso omu ntimi ni omu nya adwuma because oba oni ahobrase oba na wochi na ofa na oya ahobrase na du ba bi na afa no ama ne ho so ni niema bebre ntimi ni obi nya adwuma
ya no omu mpa adwuma adwuma de sabi pie water mpo wo soa me hu obi a wasoa pie water esidan me hu obi a wasoa pie water de ahwe ne ma but wo mo mpadwuma wo mo ne nambrand because okone mpena ho a obenye sika ataduane di nti o mpadwuma obedress ne morure yi na onam krom banch bag sen no onye baby no woko okotire no abekatire o mo mpadwuma
adwuma nso ni o man ni mu na ansa na oba obenya adwuma aye no boss hu a opese onu ye bibi on kwa effect sami abayo ameja obepese onu baby bi ansa na wa ma wa adwuma no nti yebre ansa na nya adwuma
bi obeka sa adwuma ni hobia ne wo boa adwuma wo ho pa na mana aba na se ye di yensa be ye adwuma no omu mpe anantia no meti we ha se na mewo matra be 35 years enti wugiri se adwuma nu me ba so Yesu nti ye tobi mame enti me de memesre na na akufo ado se omma sika mra krom sika ba krom a adwuma obia pa adwuma obenya bia ye
ye to ade se kra wo mu yen on pe me manasem a chen pie adwuma ye nti adwuma wo ho pa mo me ma se na mo de wo so ntu pie water me me bituma so pie water nti ma ne de on pa adwuma
se ka se adwuma ni o man ga na mu a for ye ma na ye ditro adwuma de bi wo ho na sikasem so obi wo ho a ade no e se odi sika kofa sika ni ho no ni a problem.
I was on 4 years to work as a bono so enuro ahodo ya de bo ye ho ban afri nyinsan ehom me kire emergency contraceptive pills no ye nya ntie se emayo dodo no a na omonom rough enam so enya sunsun so bone ewo mo apomodin eso ebi mu fe ne prepaid ebi mu so fe no post pill wo che se enkoda ni bu okra mayo ano se wo mo no ma enya adwuma esa se wo mo no ma me no mo system nafa enu nti no wo mo ekoye de omba yewie no mo no ma enhyada enya adwuma biem na no na mawe no bi akasa akire ha ha wonom efa
emergency contraceptive say yenura mafa e de bo ho ban efiri nyinsan ho na ekame akọ ese ne ma ba nuro yi wo fa ne se bibiduro anopa mienu awia mienu anwumre nso mienu a kine bi no anhwe benya nsunsuan so bone e wo pomuden so nam so e ma pomuden adwuma efu bi wo atifi apoye fom e de kokogba akọ ma ma se nuro no wo mfa ne saa entu onya hwe yi enam so ma UTV kasebo ye ne pomuden adwuma efu bi na ma emergency contraceptives yi watafa no ye no ma twetwe nkomo bisa won se de mpo na duro no wonim efa ho
sometimes 16 17 18 omno motai ba pa and some guys ni bi nso tumi beto obi wo ba ni bi wo ba ofere nti ebia obeka che ne guy ni so no mu ba na wabeto obi wo to condom na wato contraceptive na kan
obi wo beto obi bisa question obi won so to awon bisa question a week etimi ton bebre because it's said youth no mo top
manum bi dama amamanya kamenko a ade so be use condom ana say ye betwan oyo menses we after menses no na wakoba ma ho
woni na da wi kra no wa hyeda chimene ho dendende na wo be ma no hu so na ekọ ne ho no apie kwa bont ene mum yesen se wo be kwa kofa duro bi di a hye wo ho na afi ochena bi no wakwa konya yare
ti atumi ma wa wo de ko atwe wo yusi a betumi abasa won nyam biom ne ade mati bebe
onoma menstruation no emma ana say de yare for yare bi tetumi de ban say bi wo ho a obenya yare bi ti say fibroid ana say pressure
manum bi da bom ba ko pe but menum ye no mum anshada amwa mesa enti menum bi
we can say emergency contraception is for emergency use. It should not be abused because you have to look at the future. A woman say in the short term, no, might direct effect on fertility, but we used to hormonal changes, other changes about the system, including vaginal infections, and vaginal infections be account with you, not affecting fertility, not matching our woman some and I was 100% into so we here or by here contraception. They should look at long-term contraception, including barrier condoms or say 2-3 times a month. Now here emergency contraceptive, then you should consider alternatives. Long-term. And remember also, it's about two people. And medical cancer can say condom use and a barrier method. Remember condom. I will encourage that. Let's just say both partners are having a role to play in this. Let's just say we are limiting emergency use for what it is, emergency and kasa.
Awusan for ye to akase bono eso say ewiase ekona nim ye panunti no bibia ebia no kamia ye se mu be se ohamu nchemu aduo 20% de akwa ye internet sem ai wo pesa brabo no ekoye ye contemporary ma wo na hu de ekoso owiase wadwuma koso de a yisa internet no wo de ka ho bi na ye nya ne ntie se ewiase mamu nyina no ye internet no ya de a say ateko ekofom ye papa ama enye sunsuanso bone ewo nwuma bebre so akese enye asam ketwa say no wachira ewiemhyen meche flight dodo no ano ya cancel wo de no to nchen a wokọ bank kra na obonsa wote wo sa de o say system no echo off ni nyina say internet no enye adwuma radio stations ahodro a wo mo ewo abef internet ne so no wo mo off air chese wo mo eni mframamu a chese ni nyina no internet wo mo de ye adwuma no ekọ fom ateko enam so wo mo nya bi emfa enye adwuma enwuma ko bebre a wonom e de internet eye adwuma no de chese ya de a wo mo ebre ye pa software ni nyina ateteko a enam so ama wonom ehunu eso na ahase ni podie accident crofo ni si o musi one time ebisi cyber security firm akodo no na ebia makọ kanema bi ama ye internet na te kona na nti no wo mo ni sa cyber security firms ni bi atwetwe nkomo mo mo som ni tu dwase da bi we enye cyber security asem kra na mo no internet no na ateko ewo wiase afena nyina mu a ema ede sa sunsuanso we aba na no wasi airline dodo no a no chese enye adwuma wokọ airport a nipa dodo no a abo asesa e wo ho na wo hu de onye wo ho na Germany Euro rings for crowd de mo chese Germany domestic flight baako ayade a wo mu atwam de efiri ho no ekọ UK mamu no enedai wo mu amanantu ni nyina ne se ticket no se be on be confirm na afenso chese enkoye omuntimi process wo mo niema no Lufthansa nso ayade a eno nso no wonum atwam esanse boarding processes akodro a wasani no mo di internet eye no internet na te konti eno nso ma cancel sa flight na o manfo entumi enfa bi anfo na no na won e di domestic airline wasan komo fru ekọ mu enwuma no meetings akodro no German aban no di ato mo nim se ni die mo da wo mo enkofru eye train ai omu ko twa train ticket ni bi no mo franco na etre na omu sika na omu di twa ewiewem hye na internet nti wo mantumi anfro no wo ma babeje wonum ade na kwa eye South Korea so a wo chese low cost airline dodo no anso omu hye wo how ye papa enam so ama se delay bebre aba ewo eye passenger boarding no emu enam so ama South Korea ho anso ewiewem hye dodo no an wa amakwan ama no entu ni nyina agina internet semi so na woi na wokọ land memu nso a stock exchange for wonom so akasa ho de atodwa say na enye landing honko a kese ade na kwakọ yewias memu ne sanse country bia aja wonom ebe frɛ no modi nsanso no na so mo kasa internet no atiko enam so amom kese ye adwuma kuo ba ko aja omudi internet no hu dwuma yie pa no omo na omanya problem kakra men nam so ebinum abebo awuramu omo software no call off na ebimu so abebo awuramu omo hack system no ama se de niema IC wantanya woi ene de ekoso ewiase man nyina mu a Ghana memu nso yedi emu akotene yetu akase bono eso wokọ eye priesti akro no emu a yetu sika kokọ eye gold wo honom ache yie pa nanso kamia ye se enkro ahodo a ehia wo mo papa a chese niema nheda enkoye market papa bia eni ho wo makwan enye hospital papa bia eni ho nom no priesti a chese omanfo eti hiemu akasa e okro ni mu
Tally no priesti all the time now. The election has been a stringing one. 4 years MPP fa na 4 years NDC afa osha ni padomno epe input to epe development ewa ha but development no ba number because of inkabuma enia enti Midday na me susu say priestia we never for beje atum na omo eyi party any party bi esinchen na omo the independent
agudie mu nsam na edru so ye twe ho basesia